Good evening. Welcome to a special late news edition of ITV News Meridian, where we reflect on the life of the Duke of Edinburgh and his links to our region. Prince Philip passed away this morning peacefully at Windsor Castle. He and the Queen have been there throughout lockdown, and it was there he returned to after leaving hospital 3 weeks ago. Heather Edwards is live in Windsor for us tonight. Heather, many people have been there paying their respects.
That's right, Sangeeta. From the moment the palace announced the death of the Duke of Edinburgh earlier today, people have been coming here to Windsor Castle in their thousands to pay their respects. There's been a steady stream of people throughout the day, young and old, bringing flowers or just coming here for a moment to remember a man who was a really big part of the community in Windsor and very much loved.
They do so much, and so much goes unnoticed or unrecognised that how much they're actually involved in. So for a lot of the people of Windsor, I think it is, you would call them your extended family, and I've seen them a few times. I go to Windsor Hall Show every year.
I was so shell-shocked, obviously, because we're talking to the Duke of Edinburgh. My mum then stepped in. She said, well, we're both nurses. And she goes, I used to work in the local hospital, King Edward VII. And then he started talking about, he goes, oh, I've been there. I had a splinter in my finger. And he was laughing about it. And it was just wonderful, absolutely wonderful man, and we've just been so devastated to hear what's happened today.
Myself, I moved from Tanzania originally, so in my country we respect this family so much. So I said, when I heard this morning, I said I need to come and give respect, because it's hard for a woman to lose a husband. It doesn't matter how old they are.
Now, we have heard this evening that Prince Charles has been here to Windsor Castle to visit his mother. We understand that he drove here from his home in Highgrove. And well into the night, people have continued to come to lay flowers. And this is now causing concern because of the pandemic. So instead, people are being asked to leave tributes on a virtual book of condolence that has been set up. Now, we understand that all of these flowers will be collected up tonight and taken into the castle grounds. And officials have told me that members of the family will be reading all the messages that have been left.
Heather, live in Windsor, thank you. In Portsmouth, flags have been flying at half-mast. Tomorrow, a 41-gun salute will be fired from the naval base at midday. While as tributes pour in, places of worship have lit candles and said prayers. At Rochester Castle, on the bank of the River Medway in Kent, the flag has been lowered. At the nearby Rochester Cathedral, the tenor bell tolled 99 times. A portrait of the Duke has been installed inside Christ Church Cathedral in Oxford. In a service online, the Reverend described it as a time of mourning for our nation. One of the Duke's last public engagements in the South East was at Canterbury Cathedral. The Dean of Canterbury paid his respects to the Duke.
I remember there were some maquettes which had been made of the head beforehand when the sculptor, and as he went through, he was pointing out his head against them, and the men found it, and women who were working here found it very amusing. He always had a wonderful way with people. Her Majesty would go through to meet people, and he would follow up and make things human and humorous.
This was Worthing Fire Station earlier, where the station commander lowered the flag there. And at the Royal Yacht Squadron at Cowes on the Isle of Wight, where the Duke was Admiral, a flag was also lowered. Until his retirement 4 years ago, the Duke of Edinburgh devoted his life to public duties. Decades of tireless service saw him fulfil 22,000 solo engagements. He was patron of 785 different organisations and made thousands of public appearances, many of them, of course, in our region, as Rachel Hepworth reports.
One of Prince Philip's last official engagements in the south before his retirement in August 2017. His wit as sharp as ever.
It's a great honour that you've come to visit us today and open British Airways I-360. It's been opened.
This, one of the Duke's many visits to the region, would have held a particular fascination. Science and engineering were among Prince Philip's passions. When he opened the new hoverport at Ramsgate in 1969, he couldn't wait to take the driver's seat.
The Prince looked forward to a short stint at the controls of one of the two SRN-4 hovercraft which the company operate on the cross-channel route.
Very much of his time, Prince Philip was always a man of action. His successful naval career, of course, and a keen sportsman, seen here taking on a Hampshire side in Bournemouth in 1949.
And when it's the turn of the Duke's team to field, that's as tidy a pick-up by cover point as you could ask for.
2 years earlier, as newlyweds, the royal couple had famously honeymooned at Broadlands in Romsey.
Accompanied by the Princess's favourite corgi, cameramen took the first post-wedding pictures.
But his role transformed when the Queen ascended the throne, resigning from the Navy to support her with thousands of royal duties. He confided then that his job, first, second and last, was never to let her down. More than 70 years of service has followed, often in that supporting role at the Queen's side on state occasions, and more informally, like this morale-boosting visit to Portsmouth to the families of naval personnel fighting in the Gulf. And he was by her side when she launched Britain's biggest ever superliner in Southampton. But he also enjoyed the solo engagements where he could unleash his personality at the Royal Marine School of Music in Portsmouth, opening a new barracks in his name at Lynham in Wiltshire, and meeting sea cadets in Windsor. He was always keen to enthuse young people. His plain speaking sometimes made waves, of course. He told the Isle of Wight council leader and MP they were as bad as Brussels for insisting that plastic windows be removed from his yacht club. And during a visit to Legoland, he informed staff that the horses pulling the state coach were the wrong colour and the milk float was going into the wrong entrance. But there was no questioning his sense of duty as the longest-serving British consort, here in his beloved Windsor, as the Queen celebrated her 90th birthday. It was here that he was able to indulge his passions of polo in his younger years, and later carriage driving, and his role as ranger of Windsor Great Park. Always keen to be in the driving seat, until the accident that forced him to surrender his licence, he even insisted on chauffeuring a visiting president. He stepped briefly out of retirement in July last year to transfer his role as Colonel-in-Chief of the Rifles.
All ranks, all riflemen would like to thank you for 67 years of continuous service, support and leadership.
At the heart and centre of the royal family, he was there at the marriages of his grandchildren, Prince Harry to Meghan Markle in May 2018, and Princess Eugenie to Jack Brooksbank later that year. At the wedding of Lady Gabriella Windsor in 2019, his zest for life and affection for his grandson was clear to see. And during COVID lockdown in 2020, he posed for a socially distanced photo at Princess Beatrice's wedding in Windsor. But he was equally at ease meeting the public, carrying out thousands of royal walkabouts during his long life, this in Margate in 2011. Now more than ever, his visits to the south will be remembered by those who were there, a man who made an impression wherever he went. Rachel Hepworth, ITV News.
And there are more tributes to the Duke on our website. The coverage continues online, including a royal romance, how the Queen and Duke of Edinburgh honeymooned in Hampshire, enjoying the first few days of their married life in Romsey. You can see more on their love story at itv.com/Meridian. Let's take a look at weather now with all the details tonight. Here's Philippa Drew.
Good evening. Mixed fortunes with the weather as we head through this weekend. For Saturday, quite a bit of cloud on the scene, some outbreaks of rain for some of us as well. Brighter all round on Sunday, but with a few showers, and some of those showers could have a somewhat wintry element to them. Now, we do have some fronts around through the course of tonight and tomorrow, giving quite a bit of cloud and some outbreaks of rain. But from Sunday onwards, we will start to see high pressure building in from the west, and that will gradually settle things down, especially so as we start the new week. Out there at the moment then, a lot of cloud on the scene, some outbreaks of rain here and there. there, all fairly weak in association with that weak cold front, but that cold front will stall through the channel through the course of tonight, and that means we keep a lot of cloud on the scene. Underneath those cloudy skies, it will for most of us be a frost-free night, just a touch of frost where we do see any clearer skies further north and west. Looking ahead to tomorrow morning then, still a lot of cloud on the scene and rain affecting southern and southeastern parts in particular. Little change for the southeast into the afternoon, but the further north and west you go, the brighter it will become. Some sunny spells here and perhaps a few showers cropping up as well. But wherever you are, it will be a chilly day. Temperatures in single figures all round out on the breeze and feeling fresher still. Sunny spells and a few wintry showers for Sunday and another cold day. Temperatures in single figures. But I think as we head into the new week, drier, brighter and temperatures heading up the scale once again. Do take care. Good night.
And that's it for now. Our coverage looking back at the Duke of Edinburgh's life continues tomorrow. Join Fred if you can at 6:20. But from the late team, thank you for watching. Good night.